Hypixel Skyblock is a game all about money. If you have billions of coins, you could just buy everything and anything you'll ever need. Personally, I dislike this because it kind of takes away the fun and effort of getting certain items. Like, for example, there's an item called the Wood Singularity that takes a lot of time to grind, hours and hours of grinding wood. Now, here, let me present you some options. Would you rather spend, like, maybe 10 plus hours just mining wood to get a single item? Or go in the end for an hour, kill zealots, get ice, sell it, and buy the item? You'd obviously choose the second option because it's faster, more time efficient, and you are a sane person. But I'm not a sane person. Now, I'm going to make the bold assumption you don't know what an Ironman profile is in Skyblock. If you've ever played RuneScape, you probably know what this is because it's taken right from RuneScape. But you can't interact with players at all. It's just like single player. They drop things, you can't get them. You drop things, they can't get them. You can't buy things, you can't use the auction house, you can't use the bazaar. You have to get everything on your own. So with the Pigman sword, if I show you something a little here, we go into collections, we go into farming. I would need to manually collect 50,000 pork chops just to unlock the recipe. And to get the actual sword costs an extra 1.2 million pork. So you may be wondering, how are you going to get that? I didn't know. So first I had to start planning. How was I going to, do this? I could do minions, but I did the math. That's going to take like 2 months if I just have 18 minions and they fill up so fast. So I'm going to have to be emptying them like every 3 hours. And I can't just be going off 3 hours of sleep every night. So I started devising a plan, and I found out something awesome. After doing a little research on minions, I figured out more about their time between actions. Now, let me give you an example of a time between action. 22 seconds, there you go. So let's say every 22 seconds, this pig minion would spawn a pig. But also every 22 seconds, it would use an action to kill a pig. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to cut out, it killing the pig so that I can efficiently double the speed of the minions. So what I did was I built this giant thing. So here's a pig. So instead of it getting the action to kill a pig, the pig would flow then into a storage system, which then it wouldn't even get the pork chops. So I would be creating infinite storage for the minions. So I'd be solving both of my problems. Now the only real problem now is that for 24 hours of the day, I would have to sit in this AFK pool just listening to pigs die. Now, I did this a lot. But the thing is, you can't AFK 24 hours a day all day because servers have scheduled reboots. You can get kicked for game updates. Your Wi-Fi can cut out for a second. So this was painful. Now, for a very short period of time during this Pigman sword endeavor, I felt like I could do it. I felt it's just going to take time. Just hope every night that I don't get kicked. Lose a bit of sleep thinking about it all night. But then I remembered, I don't get collection for items that I'm collecting out of a chest. But luckily, at the time, there was this thing called the Shiny Pig event, which happened right after the Mayor Dante was defeated and Technoblade became Mayor, and shiny pigs would spawn around, and they had a chance to give you enchanted pork, which added to the collection. So all I had to do now was do multiple hours of these things while risking losing extra pork chops from the pigs. But eventually, I was able to get the recipe and everything was saved. We did it, boys! Pigman sword recipe acquired! The days became long and hard. I would wake up bright and early in the morning and I would just pray. I would pray. Please, please, please did not get kicked right after I went to sleep. One time I went to sleep at like 11 p.m. and I checked when I got kicked and I got kicked at 11:10 p.m. I was so mad. But I would wake up and I would just empty the chest and I would craft and I would get closer and closer and closer to the inevitable Pigman sword. Look at the date on this clip, dude, and look at the date on this clip. It was painful and I hated it. But I did it for content, so subscribe. Oh yeah, I also figured out that pigs got attached to leads, and I kind of went crazy for like an hour and did this. So yeah, there's a fun clip. Da-da-da, I am flying with my pigs, I am flying with my pigs, da-da-da, and we go in for the smooth landing. Is they take fault. No! But then the day finally came. The day that I finally had enough pork to craft it. Now, also on that day, I happened to be very, very sick, so I wasn't able to record a reaction. So I'm gonna give you a bit of a voiceover reaction of what was going through my head when I crafted it, and then I'll show you me enchanting it. I'll show you a damage test on it. Wow, guys, I'm crafting it. I'm putting in the pork. Live reaction. I'm putting it in. I'm making the sword. I made it, guys. I made it. This is my reaction. I made the Pigman sword. I'm zooming in on my head. I'm going crazy. I'm using the ability. I killed a chicken. I killed it. My live reaction. Thanks, guys. So then I enchanted it. I added the hot potato books and I put the reforge on, and it was finally time for the damage test. What? That barely improved at all! I wasted an entire month!